right, good morning, third grade. Today we're going to be going over for language arts, replacing a noun in a sentence with a pronoun. So we should be pretty familiar. We've gone over our personal pronouns and our possessive pronouns. So today we're just going to go over some examples of how we would replace them in sentences. Remember, when we went over pronouns before, we talked about how it's like a soccer game and the nouns are the starting players and the pronouns can sub. So they can go back and forth. We can switch them out. All right, so pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun or nouns. And singular pronouns, just like we talked about yesterday between singular and plural, takes the place of a singular noun. So a singular pronoun takes the place of a singular noun, which is just one person, place, or thing. So if I said Jessica liked the cake, I'm talking about one person. So my pronoun also has to represent one person. So I said she, because Jessica represents she. It both means one. Liked the cake. She liked it. It takes the place of a cake. So these are going to be our singular pronouns. So remember, if you have a piece of paper and a pencil, write this down so that when we go to our homework today, it'll be easier. And you could write it down as, if this was my piece of paper, I'm going to write down singular. And you can put if you want to make it shorter, you can. Or you can keep going singular pronouns. And I would just write them out. I, you, and then keep going. She, he. This means we're talking about one thing. So now let's go over our plural pronouns, and then we'll go over some examples. So now I have my plural pronouns, which takes the place of, plural pronouns take the place of plural nouns, meaning more than one person, place, or thing. So if I said the dogs, and I know it's plural because I add an S, liked the treats, and again I know it's plural because it has an S, just like our previous lessons. So now I can say they represents the dogs because they's more than one. Liked them, the treats, because the dogs ate more than one. So they takes the place of dogs, and them takes the place of treats. So again, now that I'm going over my plural pronouns, I'm going to write plural pronouns and continue to write them down. So when I go back for my homework, I'm able to look back at my notes. So let's go through some examples. So today for our examples, we're going to be going through what our homework is going to be. So our homework today is replace the noun with the personal pronoun. And when you get to IXL, we're going to have to complete the sentence with the best pronoun. So Jill wants honey instead of jelly on her peanut butter sandwich. So now I'm going to look back. Jill is what I'm replacing. I have to think, is that singular or plural? Is Jill one person or more than one? Singular. So now I know that I'm going to be looking at my singular pronouns. But now let's keep looking, because Jill, it says her sandwich, so we know that Jill is a girl. So I'm going to say she, because that would represent Jill. So remember, when I type it, it's at the beginning of a sentence, so I have to capitalize it, which means I'm going to put my finger on the shift, or if you're on an iPad, it's going to have the arrow pointing up. You're just going to click on it, and I'm going to type S-H-E, and then I click submit. Very good. So let's go over another one. So again, we're completing this sentence with the best pronoun. The captain welcomes, this is what we're replacing, Mr. Floyd and me aboard his ship. So now if I'm talking about Mr. Floyd and me, am I talking about a singular one person, or am I talking about more than one person, plural? So I'm going to think about it, and I have decided it is plural because it's Mr. Floyd and me. That's two people. So now I have to think. And a good way to help with this is using the plural pronouns in place of the word. So if I say we, the captain welcomes we aboard his ship. Does that make sense? It doesn't sound that good. So let me read through all of them, replacing them, and see which one sounds the best. The captain welcomes you aboard his ship. No, I still don't like the sound of it, so let's try them. The captain welcomes them aboard his ship, but me is included in that, so them wouldn't make the most sense. So let's say they. The captain welcomes they aboard his ship. It still just doesn't sound good. I don't think that's the best pronoun. But we have one more to practice reading, and then we can decide. The captain welcomes us aboard his ship. I think that would be the best because us includes me and Mr. Floyd. So I'm going to type it in, and since it's in the middle of a sentence, don't worry about capitalization. Just US for us. And that was good. All right, we're going to do one more together, and then I want you to try this on your own. All right, so believe it or not, Laura Decker is our noun that we're replacing, sailed around the world alone. So let's think. Laura Decker is singular. It's just one person. So now I'm going to look, and I can go continue reading it through. Believe it or not, I sailed around the world alone. Well, we're not talking about me. We're talking about Laura. So that wouldn't make sense. Believe it or not, you sailed around the world alone. But we're not talking about you specifically. Remember, we're talking about Laura. So that wouldn't make sense either. Believe it or not, she sailed around the world alone. And I think that's going to be our best bet because Laura is a girl. So let's type that in and see if that makes sense. And that did. So that is going to be what we're going to work on today. But as our last review, let's quick go over our singular pronouns and our plural pronouns. So make sure that if you haven't already, you are writing them down on a piece of paper to help with our homework. So then when you're doing the homework, you can read the word and place it in the sentence and see which one sounds best. So our singular pronouns we have are I, you, he, she, it, me, him, her, and our plural pronouns, which will take the place of a plural noun, are we, you, they, us, them. All right, thank you and have a good day.